Students, we all have to make choices every day, big or small. Some day we choose to get up early and do all our chores, and sometimes we just decide to stay put in our bed. Good or bad, right or wrong, trivial or crucial, we all make choices and then we live by it. The poem that we are going to read today deals with the similar theme. It is written by Robert Frost. I am sure that you will find this poem very relevant and will be able to connect it with your life. We will first learn a little about this great poet, after which we will do in-depth study of the poem. We will briefly discuss the theme of the poem and then analyze it further. We will have a quick look at the rhyme scheme and other poetic devices used in the poem. Surely, this poem is going to make us introspect and reflect. Therefore, food for thought. Poet Robert Frost was an American-born poet, but his work was first acknowledged and appreciated in England. That is why he got published in England even before getting published in US. His style of writing was very people-friendly and realistic, and that is why people were able to connect with him and his language. For his contribution in poetry and literature, he received 4 Pulitzers in his lifetime. Interestingly, although the theme of this poem sounds very serious, Robert Frost wrote this poem as a joke for his friend poet Edward Thomas, who was quite often indecisive about which road they ought to take, and often later lamented that they should have in fact taken the other one. So, this poem, Road Not Taken, begins with a dilemma. Out walking, speaker comes to a fork in the road and has to decide which path to follow. In his description of the trees, Frost uses one detail, the yellow leaves, and makes it emblematic, which means symbolic, of the entire forest. The yellow leaves suggest that the poem is set in autumn. He wishes that he could travel both as one traveler. After peering down one road as far as he could see, the speaker chooses to take the other one, which he describes as just as fair and perhaps better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Later in the poem, the speaker calls the road he chose less traveled, and it has initially struck him as slightly grassier, slightly less trafficked, but soon doubt clouds his judgment again. Frost then reiterates that the two roads are in fact similar and no road has similar advantage over the other, as the roads are equally untraveled, carpeted in newly fallen yellow leaves. Having made his choice, the speaker declares, "Oh, I kept the first for another day." So far, the language is matter of fact, unemotional, very factual. This line, however, initiates a change as the speaker shifts from depiction to contemplation. The language becomes more dramatic and old-fashioned. The poem's tone also turns increasingly elusive and difficult to grasp. As he does throughout the poem, the speaker makes a confident statement, "I saved the first for another day," only to turn back and revise it. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Already the poet doubts if he will ever return. The last stanza, however, reveals that the roads were not really same, and the one he chose made all the difference. The themes of the poems are very clear. The theme of choice and continuous need to make conscious decisions haunts the poet throughout the poem. The other theme is individuality. The poet decided to choose the path which was less traveled and did something which made him stand out in a crowd. Finally, the theme of acceptance is visible towards the end of the poem. The poet, not knowing whether he chose the right one or not, has to accept the reality of the present. His regret is not because of the path he chose, but because he would never know what the other road has to offer him. Now let's connect it with our life, shall we? We all come across such crossroads like this man who has two choices. Either he can go out and explore the world, or he could get to know about the world through books and studies. Remember, nowhere are we suggesting which road is better. We can choose to follow our passion or do what many people before us have done and chosen. We can opt for something unorthodox, an untrodden path, or the one which is traveled by many before. Both the choices will give you experiences and lessons, and surely happiness. What will dampen that joy will be if you think a lot about what if. We cannot do everything, we can't experience everything. What we can be sure of is that whatever we chose was a well informed decision. The poet wonders in the end about that road which he didn't choose, and that is what is haunting him. The speaker made a choice and took a path. In taking that path, he gave up his chance to take the other one. This means the speaker is reflecting on his life choices and how they are going to affect his life. What could have happened if he made a different choice? What his life would have been if he had taken the other one, the road which he had not taken. Indeed, whenever Frost and Thomas went walking together, Thomas would often choose one fork of the road because he was convinced that that road would take them to a adventure, something interesting. But whenever he was disappointed, he was convinced that the other road would have doubtlessly led to something better. In a letter, Frost goaded Thomas, saying, "No matter which road you take, you will always sigh and wish you had taken another road." The road in the poem is a metaphor of life, while the fork on the road metaphorically represents the choices we make to determine the course of our lives. Similarly, yellow woods are metaphor of making decisions during the hard times of person's life. Making choices is the most important part of life. More than anything in the text of the poem, this title hints that the poem is about lost opportunities and the complexities of choices. Not just choosing the path that is fresh and new, but also the path which will lead you to a newer path. So eventually, making better choices and moving on is all that we can do, because regret is the last thing that we want in our life, and that is what was haunting the poet in the poem. So let's make better choices and move on.